Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Friday. It's Denise from Dobby Books. And in Southern California this week, it's not only been hot, it has been it has been uncharacteristically humid. I had maybe 1 or 2 days where it was bringing back memories of when I lived in PA, and we would have those sort of regular humid to mild humid days. It's just been crazy. And we were saving ourselves because we would open the windows in the morning, let in all the cool air, and as soon as the first hint of warmth kicked in, we'd close all the windows and let the AC turn on and keep everything nice and comfortable. Well, yesterday the our AC decided to give up the ghost. So last night it stays hot till a little bit later in the evening, and I had the windows open, I had the fans on high just to keep that air moving. You really can't get rid of the humidity. You just can't. So sleeping was not as comfortable. Um, I was wondering because I always have to sleep with socks on. I can't sleep with bare feet. It's something that's just been that way for years for me because when I take socks off and I sleep bare with bare feet, it's a sort of a sensation of cold that keeps me awake, and my feet don't feel cold. It's weird. So I wondered last night because it was so hot and the humidity was mixed into it if I'd be able to sleep barefoot because that's how I wanted to sleep. It was just so warm. I couldn't do it. I had to put my socks on. I'm a weirdo. But anyway, today it's warm. I have my ceiling fan on medium. I have my window open right now and it's 7:10 p.m. It's only now started to cool down, but we're still in the 80s. So who knows when we're going to get the AC fixed because that's when the AC dies, when it's hot. And these guys are so busy fixing all these air conditioners that we don't know when they're going to be able to come by and help us with ours. So that's been my exciting week. What I did, I want to show you what I'm reading and some new books that I got. So first, let me show you what I'm reading. I am still reading Mansfield Park. I'm in book 2, or volume 2, if you want to say. I'm in volume 2. I think I have the feeling that I should be farther ahead. There were about 3 days I didn't read, including last night, because I was tired. With everything I had to do running around in the heat, I was tired. And I'm also reading my nonfiction book, The University and Medieval Life, for my history study. I'm still working my way through this one. Not halfway through yet. I didn't read this at all this week, by the way. My bad. I was busy reading Mansfield Park. And my other book, there it is. Hold on. Dante's Purgatory, the Anthony Esselin translation. Isn't that the coolest cover? I think it's very pretty. And this is a fantastic translation. I am currently at the Ring of Wrath, Canto 16. What I can tell you is the first thing that I caught on to immediately was that in comparing Inferno with Purgatory, in Inferno, Dante and Virgil, thank goodness Virgil knew his way, but they had no help, or those who offered help were just deceiving them. You were pretty much on your own. And if you encountered anybody that you knew, they never had good news for you. And it was just, that's how it was. So sojourners in Inferno were on their own, and no one was going to help you. Whereas with Purgatory, they have to do some climbing and some, sort of walking on a narrow ledge against a mountain at a certain point. But at every turn, there was always someone there willing to help. At one point, after they had climbed the base of the mountain and they got to a certain level, there was a guardian angel there who opened the gate with 2 keys, and he offered encouragement, right? And then when they got through that level that was beyond the gate, now they got to climb a ladder, and there was also someone there to greet them. And along the way, Dante encounters people he did know who were going through trials or sufferings, but they weren't angry, they weren't resentful, they weren't spiteful, they weren't deceptive. They were patient and caring and loving and helpful. That's right off the bat is the difference between the two. I'll have more to say as I move along, but that's what I'm noticing about purgatory. So I think maybe the new reader may say, but they're suffering in hell and they're suffering in purgatory. Yes, but what is the inner spirit of the people who are suffering? It's a difference. So there's that. Let me move my microphone. It's falling. Okay. So that's what I'm reading. Now, what did I get? First thing I want to show you is I got this really cool thing at Barnes and Noble. It's funny, I've gone there a couple times trying to find a book and I haven't found one, but I came upon this. They had different colors. This one appealed to me, and I'm not so much a blue person, but this combination of the blue and the lavender is very pretty. And this is what you would put on a book. And when I'm reading Purgatorio, I like to have a pencil, mechanical pencil, and my pencil highlighter, which has green and yellow and orange and red. I like to have these with me as I'm reading the book, but I can't always clip them onto the book itself. So I sort of was keeping my eye out for that. And I found this lovely pouch, and you can also put some pencils or pens in there. And what you do, you can adjust the size in the back. And I placed it over the book. So when I'm headed out the door and I want to bring my book with me, just in case I have the time, I have everything I need right here, and it goes right over the book. And that's neat. I think I got this yesterday. I'm glad I found it. Very nice. This could be for your journal. And I love the fact that the band really does adjust to various sizes. So that's my little pitch right there. Okay, books I've read. We've covered that. Now let me show you some books that I got. A book haul. This one, I don't know how I heard about this book. It might have been in an article in Substack. That's what I think. And it's entitled The Overnight Student: How I Went from Straight F's to Straight A's by Dr. Michael L. Jones. I love to figure out how students are able to wrestle that beast of study and learning. And I don't see any intro. But this guy was, I know he wrote this as a much older man, but he said when he was, I think it was high school, no, college, he was dying. He was just crashing and burning. He couldn't figure out how to learn anything. He studied the way he thought you're supposed to study, and it didn't work. And I don't know how, but he did find a way to study where he did actually learn what he was trying to learn. And I suspect what he did was he studied something as if he had to teach it to a class. It's a very different mindset at that point when you study. So that's what I suspect. It's a small book. It didn't cost much. I was just curious, so I'm going to read this pretty quickly. All right. Next one. I did get my third book in the Divine Comedy series translated by Anthony Esolen, but like I mentioned, the last book in the series did not maintain the same cover design. I don't know why, but this is the cover design of the Anthony Esolen translation of Paradiso. It's just entitled in English, Paradise. That's how thick it is. How does it compare to Purgatory? About the same. I'm going to say the same. This has, including notes, 492 pages. And Purgatory has, including notes, 497 pages. So a little difference there. Who's the publisher? I forgot. Modern Library. Yeah, Modern Library. There we go. So I'll be reading that next. The next book I got was Pan's Labyrinth, or The Labyrinth of the Faun. There was a movie called Pan's Labyrinth. It was originally made in Spain. The original language is Spanish, so you have to read the subtitles. And it was originally a script, and Guillermo del Toro joined forces with Cornelia Funk. She's the one who wrote the Inkheart series, and she novelized his script. And this is the book. And I want to mention that I ordered all these books from bookshop.org, because I'm always trying to, Bookshop always has a percentage going to independent bookstores. So I try to purchase from them rather than Amazon or Barnes and Noble. And there were 4 books. There was Pan's Labyrinth, Purgatory, Paradise, and the college student learning book, the first one that I showed you. And of those 4 books, this one and the Paradise book had the same corner bent back. I was so annoyed by that. This corner and this, they were bent back. And I was tempted to say, well, just keep them and, do the best you can. But then I thought, no, I'm paying for this plus shipping. I think it's not brain surgery to be able to ship books thoughtfully, right? I don't know. My guess was the people who pack the books are not book lovers, and they just don't understand. So I emailed Bookshop. I explained my situation. I sent them pictures. They sent me the replacements, and they told me, one of 2 things will happen. We contacted the seller, and they're forwarding those 2 books to us. They may send, if they send us a return shipping label, we will forward that to you. If they don't send it to us, you have 2 extra books that you could do whatever you want with. So as of today, I have not received any return shipping label from Bookshop for those 2 books that were damaged. So I've got 2 extra books. If any of you are interested in one of those, I'll send it out to you. It's the Bent Corner of Pan's Labyrinth, the Bent Corner book of that, and the Bent Corner book of Dante's Paradise by Anthony Esolen. And what else did I get? I have a client who enjoys reading, and I keep staring at this book every time I go to see her. And today, because I asked her about it again, she offered to let me take the book home to read it. So that's what I'm going to do. It's entitled A Woman of No Importance, The Untold Story of the American Spy Who Helped Win World War II. This cover might look familiar to some of you. I don't know if maybe some of you have already read this book. I don't know. But I love this history. So it's the target in their sights is Virginia Hall, a Baltimore socialite who talked her way into Special Operations Executive, the spy organization dubbed Winston Churchill's Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. She became the first Allied woman deployed behind enemy lines, and despite her prosthetic leg, helped to light the flame of the French resistance, revolutionizing secret warfare as we know it. Based on new and extensive research, Sonia Purnell has for the first time uncovered the full secret life of Virginia Hall. In A Woman of No Importance, she shares a breathtaking story of heroism, spycraft, triumph over adversity, and how one woman's fierce persistence helped win the war. This is a Penguin publication, and the author is Sonia Purnell. So I'm going to be reading this because I just can't help myself. So let's see if I can squeeze it in with my other 3 books. And then this book I borrowed from the library today. I made a stop because I was listening to a fellow booktuber, Leaf by Leaf, and he was mentioning books that helped to change the way he read books. I tried to find some of the titles he mentioned. Wasn't having tremendous luck, but I found something similar, and it's entitled Rereadings. And it's a collection of um, writings or essays by 17 writers, and they talk about the experience and the value of rereading a book, a story, or what have you. Rereadings edited by Anne Fadiman, author of Ex Libri. I got that from the library today, and this is published by, I don't know, published by Farrar, Straus, and Giroux in New York. And it lists a whole bunch of authors. Catherine Aschenberg on the Sue Barton books. Let's see. Allegra Goodman on Jane Austen. Patricia Hampel on Catherine Mansfield. Trying to find other names here. David Samuels on J.D. Salinger. Vijay Seshadri on Walt Whitman. Evelyn Toynton on Evelyn Waugh. Gosh. Yep, that's a few of them. All right, that's from the library. It's not terribly thick. I'm looking forward to that. More distractions from my already loaded TBR. And I bought this for 25 cents. The Webster's New College Dictionary. Why? Because I'm a nerd. I realized I didn't have a good dictionary. They're hard to find these days. I was in Barnes and Noble the other day trying to find a good dictionary, and the one I saw was like, I don't know. I guess people just aren't buying hard copies of dictionaries anymore. Why would you need it? Because you've got the internet now. But I wanted a dictionary. And what's neat about this, besides the fact that it's indexed, is that in the back, it has the following. Okay, the biographical entries, and then it has, where is it? Geographic entries. And beyond that, it has, almost done. It has foreign words and phrases, then four-year colleges and universities, and it lists them all alphabetically, which I think is cool. My dictionaries for younger students never had that. A concise guide to style, covering things like capitalization and italicization, punctuation, all that stuff. And I don't know if it has something beyond that. Forms of address, that one caught my eye. So how would we address a first lieutenant and their branch of service, and how would we address that envelope or that email, the salutation? I think this is handy. Forms of address for federal, state, and local government officials, diplomats, clerical and religious orders, academics, religion. Oh, I already did that one. I mean, that to me, that's unique. I like that. I have a feeling a lot of grown-up dictionaries had that sort of thing, or college dictionaries had that. And then this one is back, measurements. Oh, I could use that. I used to memorize, 1 cup is 8 ounces. 1 quart is, it's just all those things. I used to know them all by heart, but I don't anymore. And this has the periodic table of elements. Just nice, cutesy little things, and signs and symbols. I liked it for those extra things that it had besides having a dictionary. So I'm very happy. It only cost me 25 cents. And if I don't use it a lot, or use it kind of sort of, it was 25 cents. Hardbound, in great condition. So I'm very happy. I got a dictionary. So there's that. And that is it. I've got tomorrow off, and then my work week starts again on Sunday, and the side gig as well. So yeah, I've been busy, um, but I'm okay. I had a couple days where I just had to come home, shower, and go to sleep. I was tired. So there we are, and it's hot and humid. I hope all of you are doing better and that your week has been going well. I want you all to enjoy your weekend. I think I'll enjoy mine. And that's it, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you all. I will see you again in just a few days. Bye bye.